Hello, this is Professor Asma Parveen from Department of Psychology, Aligarh Muslim University. Today I will continue with the non-random sampling designs, and today I will discuss purposive sampling. Judgmental sampling or purposive sampling is a non-random sampling method, and in this approach we use our own judgment to select individuals who can provide the most valuable information for the study. You carefully choose sample who you believe have the necessary information and knowledge and are willing to share with you. This type of sampling is particularly useful when you are trying to understand something that has limited available information, describe a specific phenomena, or create a historical account. While it is commonly used in qualitative research, it can also be applied in quantitative research by selecting a predetermined number of individuals who you believe are in the best position to provide the information you need. By utilizing judgmental or purposive sampling, researchers can ensure that they gather the most relevant and insightful data for their study. It allows them to focus on individuals who possess the specific knowledge or experiences that are crucial to their research objectives. This method empowers researchers to make informed decisions about who to include in their study based on their own expertise and understanding of the subject matter. So, we can say that purposive sampling is a method of selecting participants for a study based on specific criteria that the researcher deems important. Unlike random selection, this approach allows the researcher to use their knowledge and understanding of the research topic to determine who should be included in the sample. Before including someone in the sample, it is crucial to ensure that they meet the desired criteria. While this method can introduce bias, it also provides the researcher with the flexibility to create a sample that aligns with their research objectives. However, it is important to exercise caution when employing purposive sampling, as even minor mistakes can result in inaccurate data. The advantage, though, is that if an error does occur, it is relatively easy to rectify and redo the sample. There are three types of methods that we use in selection of the sample. First one is heterogeneous sampling, second one is homogeneous, third one is deviant sampling. The first one, that is heterogeneous sampling, also known as maximum variation sampling or sampling for diversity. It is a sampling method that aims to collect a wide range of viewpoints and opinions on a particular subject. Unlike other sampling methods, the goal here is not to have an equal representation of the population, but rather to include as many different perspectives as possible. By doing so, researchers can obtain more comprehensive findings and thoroughly explore the topic from various angles. To achieve this, it is crucial to have a diverse group of participants with a broad spectrum of ideas. In heterogeneity sampling, researchers intentionally select participants who differ in terms of their characteristics, backgrounds, experiences, and beliefs. This ensures that multiple viewpoints are represented and that no single perspective dominates the research findings. By including individuals with diverse perspectives, researchers can have a deeper understanding of the topic and identify patterns or themes that may not have been apparent otherwise. This approach allows for a more deep analysis and interpretation of the data collected. One advantage of heterogeneous sampling is that it promotes inclusivity and avoid bias. By intentionally seeking out participants with different backgrounds and perspectives, researchers can minimize the risk of excluding certain groups or favoring one particular viewpoint. This helps ensure that the research findings are more representative of the larger population and reduces the potential for skewed or limited conclusions. Additionally, by including a diverse range of participants, researchers can address issue of power dynamics and privilege that may influence the research process. However, heterogeneous sampling also presents some challenges to the researchers. It can be time consuming and resource intensive to recruit and engage participants from diverse backgrounds. Researchers may need to employ various strategies to reach individuals who are typically underrepresented in research studies. Additionally, analyzing and synthesizing data from a heterogeneous sample can be complex, as there may be conflicting perspectives or divergent themes that need to be carefully considered. Despite these challenges, the benefits of heterogeneous sampling are more in comparison to the limitations, as it leads to more robust and inclusive research outcomes. Next category is homogeneous or modal instance sampling. It is a method of gathering a sample of individuals who have similar or identical traits. That is why it is termed as homogeneous. Instead of seeking out a diverse group of people, homogeneous sampling aims to collect a sample of individuals who share the same views, beliefs, age, location, or employment. By selecting individuals with these specific traits, researchers can focus on a particular research problem and conduct a more detailed analysis. This approach stands in contrast to heterogeneous sampling, which seeks to gather a diverse group of people with different perspectives. While heterogeneous sampling allows for a broader examination of a topic, homogeneous sampling allows researchers to understand deeper into a specific research problem by studying a group of individuals who share the same viewpoint. This focused approach enables a more thorough understanding of the research problem. By utilizing homogeneous sampling, researchers are able to concentrate their efforts on a specific research problem and gain a more comprehensive understanding of it. So, by selecting individuals who share the same traits, researchers can analyze the problem from a singular perspective, allowing for a more detailed analysis. This method is particularly useful when studying topics that require a deep exploration of a specific viewpoint or experience. In addition to providing a more detailed analysis, homogeneous sampling also allows for easier comparison and generalization of findings. Since the individuals in the sample share similar traits, it becomes easier to identify patterns and draw conclusions that can be applied to a larger population. This makes the research findings more applicable and relevant to a wider audience. However, it is important to note that homogeneous sampling does have limitations. By focusing solely on individuals with similar traits, there is a risk of overlooking important perspectives and experiences that may exist within a more diverse population. It is crucial for researchers to consider the potential biases and limitations of homogeneous sampling and to supplement their findings with other research methods when necessary. Third category is deviant sampling, which is also referred to as extreme sampling. This deviant sampling is a technique used to select a sample that consists of cases or participants who possess unique or exceptional characteristics. These characteristics could be either extraordinary success or notable failures. The purpose of deviant sampling is to gain insights that are unconventional and unexpected, which can be beneficial for fostering creative thinking. However, this method requires additional effort in terms of locating, establishing connections with, and managing relationships with these atypical sample members. In deviant sampling, the focus is on selecting individuals who do not fit the typical mold. This means deliberately seeking out those who have achieved remarkable success or experienced significant failure. By including these outliers in the sample, researchers hope to uncover insights that may not be apparent when studying more average individuals. Deviant sampling allows for a broader understanding of the subject matter and encourages innovative thinking by challenging conventional norms and assumptions. While deviant sampling can provide valuable insights, it also presents some challenges. Finding and connecting with individuals who possess exceptional characteristics can be time consuming and require extensive effort. Additionally, managing relationships with these sample members may be more complex due to their unique circumstances or personalities. Researchers must be prepared to invest extra resources into building rapport and trust with these individuals in order to gather accurate and meaningful data. Despite the difficulties associated with deviant sampling, its benefits make it a worthwhile approach. By including individuals who deviate from the norm, researchers can have fresh perspectives and uncover new possibilities. This method helps thinking outside the box and promotes creativity in problem solving. It allows for a more comprehensive understanding of the subject matter by considering a wider range of experiences and outcomes. Criticism of purposive sampling. Purposive sampling is a technique that is used in research. It has come under criticism for its potential lack of objectivity. One major concern is that the researcher's personal opinions can influence the selection process, leading to biased results. For example, if a researcher believes that boys staying in a hostel spend most of their money on expensive restaurants, they may only choose students who they think dine out at fancy places. This can skew the findings and inaccurately represents the expenses of hostel students. Due to this flaw, statisticians generally do not recommend using purposive sampling. According to various researchers, experts in statistics do not support purposive selection. However, when executed carefully by an experienced statistician, this technique can still be valuable. It is important to have proper checks in place to ensure fairness and accuracy. Without these safeguards, purposive sampling is not appropriate or suitable for obtaining reliable data. There are certain advantages of purposive sampling. One advantage of purposive method is its targeted selection. Researchers can handpick specific groups or individuals who possess the characteristics that are relevant to the study. By doing so, they can focus on participants who can provide valuable and meaningful data related to the research questions or objectives. This targeted approach helps that the research is conducted with precision and purpose. Another advantage is its efficiency. Purposive sampling can be more efficient than other sampling methods such as probability sampling. This is especially true when it is difficult to define or access the population of interest. By carefully selecting participants who meet the criteria, researchers can save time and resources compared to sampling the entire population. This allows them to allocate their efforts and attention where it matters most. Another advantage of purposive sampling is that it provides a variety of sampling techniques to the researchers, as we can select our sample with the help of expert sampling, quota sampling, and snowball sampling. These techniques allow researchers to tailor their approach based on the specific objectives of their research, giving them the flexibility to adapt their strategy to fit the unique characteristics of their study. Another advantage of this purposive sampling is that it often leads to a deeper understanding of the topic being studied. By intentionally selecting participants who have first hand experience or expertise related to the research topic, researchers can have more detailed data. This can provide valuable insights that may not be possible to obtain through random sampling methods alone. However, it is important to note that judgmental or purposive sampling does have its limitations. And one of the limitations is sampling bias. Since the selection process relies heavily on the researcher's judgment, there is a potential for sampling bias. Researchers are intentionally selecting participants based on specific criteria. There is a risk of excluding certain perspectives or experiences that may be important to the study. This can limit the generalizability of the findings and potentially skew the results. So, researchers must be cautious not to exclude individuals or perspectives that may challenge or contradict their initial assumptions. To mitigate this risk, it is crucial to maintain transparency and clearly articulate the criteria used for participant selection. Another bias arises from the researcher's personal opinions or ideas, leading them to favor certain individuals or groups over others. As a result, the reliability and objectivity of the research may be compromised, so it is crucial for researchers to remain impartial and unbiased in their selection process to ensure the validity of their findings. Another disadvantage of purposive sampling is the lack of representativeness. Purposive sampling does not aim to create a sample that is representative of the larger population. Instead, it focuses on selecting participants who possess certain characteristics. While this may be beneficial for certain research objectives, it can limit the ability to make broader conclusions about the population as a whole. Another disadvantage of purposive sampling is its limited generalizability. While this is useful in certain research contexts, it has limitations about the generalizability and replicability. The findings derived from purposive samples cannot be applied to the entire population due to the non random selection of participants. This means that the characteristics and perspectives of the chosen individuals may not accurately represent those of the larger population, making it challenging to extend the findings to other situations or groups of people. Additionally, the lack of clearly defined and documented selection criteria and sampling approaches for purposive sampling poses difficulties in replicating this study. Other researchers may struggle to reproduce the research results because there is no standardized method to follow. This lack of transparency and reproducibility hinders the validation and verification of the findings, which are crucial aspects of scientific research. Despite these limitations, researchers can still maximize the benefits of purposive sampling by being aware of these challenges and finding ways to overcome them. By acknowledging the potential for biased sampling, researchers can take steps to minimize their own biases and ensure a more objective selection process. They can also strive to include diverse perspectives and consider alternative interpretations when choosing participants. To address the limited ability to apply findings to a larger group, researchers can supplement purposive sampling with other methods such as random sampling to obtain a more representative sample. This can help increase the external validity of the study and enhance the generalizability of the findings. Additionally, researchers can document their selection process and provide clear justifications for their choices, allowing others to assess the reliability and validity of the research. Another approach that I want to discuss is random purposive sampling. It is a hybrid approach that researchers use to select participants for their studies. It combines elements of both purposive and random sampling techniques, making it a flexible approach. Researchers first establish specific criteria that are important for their research, such as certain characteristics or experiences. Then they purposefully choose participants who meet these criteria, ensuring that the sample includes individuals with the desired attributes. However, to avoid any biases that may arise from solely using purposive sampling, a random element is added to the participant selection process. This helps to ensure that the sample is representative and not skewed towards a particular group. Researchers incorporate randomization techniques within the group of participants who meet the criteria. This could involve using random number generators or other methods to select participants in a random way. By combining purposive and random sampling, researchers can create a sample that is both targeted and diverse. This allows them to gather data from individuals who possess the specific characteristics or experiences that are relevant to their research, while also ensuring that the sample represents a broader population. Random purposive sampling provides researchers with flexibility in participant selection, enabling them to tailor their sample to the unique requirements of their study. This random purposive sampling is a method that combines targeted participant selection with the random representation, and its aim is to make research findings more reliable by reducing bias in the selection process. While participants are purposefully chosen based on specific criteria, the randomization process ensures that everyone who meets the criteria has an equal chance of being included in the sample. This approach offers researchers a middle ground between the flexibility of purposive sampling and the representativeness of random sampling, allowing for a more balanced approach to selecting participants in research studies across different fields. By combining purposive sampling with random representation, researchers can maintain the efficiency and focus of purposive sampling while also enhancing the generalizability of their findings. This is particularly important when studying diverse populations or complex phenomena that require a broader range of perspectives. Random purposive sampling provides a systematic approach to participant selection, increasing the likelihood of obtaining a representative sample that accurately reflects the larger population. This method also helps to minimize the influence of researcher bias as the randomization process reduces the researcher's control over the selection of the participants. Overall, we can say that random purposive sampling offers a valuable approach to participant selection in research studies. It strikes a balance between the targeted nature of purposive sampling and the inclusivity of random sampling, allowing researchers to gather rich and diverse data while maintaining the rigor of their study design. By reducing bias and increasing the representativeness of the sample, this method enhances the validity and reliability of research findings. So, researchers across various fields can benefit from implementing random purposive sampling in their studies. Next category of non-random sampling is the expert sampling. This expert sampling is also known as judgment sampling. It is a method used to gather opinions and assessments from experts in a specific field. This technique is chosen when researchers need insights and in depth understanding from individuals with extensive expertise and experience in the subject. By including experts in the subject, researchers can tap into their rich knowledge base, expertise, and unique perspectives. The process of expert sampling involves selecting participants based on their reputation, credentials, or recognition as experts in the field. Researchers may identify experts through various means such as reviewing publications, citations, awards, or consulting with other experts. However, it is important to choose experts wisely as not everyone who claims to be an expert actually is one, and their opinions may not always be accurate. So, expert sampling is a form of purposive sampling, which means that the sample is drawn based on the judgment of the researcher. The researcher decides what criteria define an expert and selects individuals who meet those criteria. This two-stage process involves defining what expert means in the study and then selecting individuals who meet the defined criteria. The selected group of experts is sometimes called a panel. While expert sampling can provide valuable insights and opinions, it is important to note that this method is subject to bias. The frame and population may not be identical, which can introduce bias into the results. Additionally, the limitations of an expert's ability to choose a good sample should be considered. Despite these limitations, expert sampling is a useful tool for gathering detailed information and obtaining the opinions of individuals with a high level of skill or knowledge in a particular field. There are certain advantages of expert sampling. This expert sampling involves choosing individuals who possess extensive knowledge in a particular field, and this approach proves beneficial when seeking the opinions and insights of the experts within a specific field of study. For example, if investigating addiction, selecting experts in that area would provide valuable ideas. Utilizing expert sampling offers several advantages. For example, it enables researchers to obtain accurate and valuable information from individuals who possess vast knowledge and experience. These experts can offer unique insights that may not be attainable from a general population. Expert sampling can be a more efficient and cost effective means of gathering information compared to other methods. This expert sampling allows researchers to draw upon a wide range of qualitative research designs. This means that different techniques can be applied to gather the necessary data for the study, even though you cannot make generalizations about an entire population. Expert sampling still allows for logical and theoretical generalizations to be made from the sample. This expert sampling does has its limitations as it can be problematic for a few reasons. Firstly, it is crucial to exercise caution when selecting experts, as simply claiming expertise does not guarantee actual knowledge or competence in the subject matter. So, it is essential to verify their qualifications and ensure they possess the necessary expertise. Additionally, relying solely on experts may limit our understanding of the broader population's perspectives. By excluding non experts, we risk obtaining findings that do not accurately represent the views and opinions of the entire population. Therefore, it is important to consider these limitations when utilizing expert sampling method. So, we can say that expert sampling is a valuable method for gathering information from individuals with a high level of knowledge or expertise in a specific field. It allows researchers to draw upon different qualitative research designs, make logical generalizations, and conduct research in multiple phases. However, it is important to be cautious when selecting experts and consider the limitations of this sampling method. This is all for today. Thank you.